The Dallas Cowboys just made a move that absolutely nobody saw coming, and honestly, it changes everything about how we need to look at this offseason. So if you are not paying attention right now, you are about to miss something massive because this front office just sent a message to the entire league. And before we break all of this down for you, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because here at Cowboys Live News, we are covering every single update the moment it drops. And trust me, you do not want to be the last one to know what is happening with your team. So let us get right into it. The Cowboys have officially signed Javonte Williams to a 3-year, $24 million contract extension with $16 million in guaranteed money. And if you are sitting there thinking, okay, cool, another deal, what is the big deal here? Let me tell you exactly why this matters way more than the numbers suggest. First of all, this deal got done before free agency even opened. This got done before the NFL Combine. When was the last time you saw the Dallas Cowboys get out ahead of something like this? I will wait. This franchise has been notorious for dragging negotiations out to the very last second, making players sweat, making fans anxious, and then scrambling at the finish line, but not this time. This time, Jerry Jones and the front office looked at the situation and said, we are not playing games. We want Javonte Williams locked up, and we want it done now. And the crazy part is they actually set the market by doing this. Think about it. Kenneth Walker has not been paid yet. Breece Hall has not been paid yet. Travis Etienne is still waiting on his deal. By getting Javonte signed at roughly $8 million per year, the Cowboys essentially drew a line in the sand for every other running back negotiation that is about to happen. If you are an agent representing one of those other backs, you are looking at this deal and you are telling your client, we are not taking anything less than what Dallas just paid Javonte. The Cowboys actually influenced the entire running back market, and they did it in their favor because they moved fast and they moved smart. Now, let me break down what this contract actually looks like, because the structure here is pretty important. $24 million over 3 years breaks down to $8 million per year on average. The $16 million in guaranteed money tells you the Cowboys are committed, but they also built in flexibility. League insiders suggest this deal will likely hit the cap at around $6 million this upcoming season, then escalate to something like $8 million and then $10 million over the following years. That is extremely manageable, especially when you consider what Dallas is getting in return. And here is what nobody is talking about. Javonte Williams just had the best season of his entire career. This was not some gamble on potential. This was not Jerry Jones falling in love with a highlight reel and overpaying. The numbers back this up completely. Javonte carried the ball 252 times this past season, which crushed his previous career high of 217. He rushed for over 1,200 yards, which blew past anything he had done before. He scored 11 rushing touchdowns, which was nearly triple what he had in any other year on the ground. His total touchdown count hit 13, which again was miles ahead of his previous seasons. His yards per carry jumped to 4.88, which was a career best. His success rate was almost 10% higher than any other year he has played in the NFL. This was not a fluke season. This was a breakout. This was Javonte Williams proving that he can be a legitimate lead back in this league, and the Cowboys rewarded him for it. And here is the kicker. Javonte turns 26 years old in April, which means this entire contract will play out before he even hits 30. You are getting him locked in for what should be the prime years of his career. Running back is no longer a question mark for this team. It is not a need. It is not something you have to address in free agency or the draft. You have your guy and he is signed, sealed, and delivered. Now, does this mean the backfield is completely set? Not exactly, but it is pretty close. Ideally, the Cowboys probably want to bring back Malik Davis on an affordable deal because he showed some real flashes, and having that depth is important. You also have Deuce Vaughn on the roster, plus some younger developmental pieces, so the room has options. But the point is, you are not desperate. You are not walking into free agency hoping to find a starting running back because that position is handled. And that changes everything about how you approach the rest of the offseason. Think about what this means for the Combine. Instead of spending all their time evaluating running backs and trying to figure out if they need to draft one or sign one in free agency, the Cowboys can now focus entirely on other priorities. They can zero in on that George Pickens extension that everybody has been talking about. They can work on getting Jadeveon Clowney locked up. They can lay the groundwork for outside free agent moves without having this running back question hanging over their head. It is one less thing to worry about, and in an offseason where there is a lot to figure out that matters more than you might think. But here is where things get really interesting, and this is the part that I think a lot of people are sleeping on. Javonte Williams recently switched agents. He is now represented by Nicole Lynn over at Clutch Sports, and if that name sounds familiar, it should. Nicole Lynn has been making some serious moves in this league. She handled the Derrick Henry deal among others, and she has a reputation for getting her clients taken care of. Now, why does this matter for the Cowboys? Because Nicole Lynn also represents Tyler Booker, who Dallas drafted last year. She represents Quincy Williams, who's the brother of Cowboys defensive tackle Quincy Williams. Wait, let me clarify that. She represents both Quincy Williams and has connections to the Cowboys defensive line through her client list. The point is, the Cowboys now have multiple players represented by the same agency, and that relationship clearly seems to be a positive one. If getting the Javonte deal done smoothly helps build trust with Clutch Sports, then maybe, just maybe, that opens the door for other extensions to go smoothly as well. Could this help with a potential Quinnen Williams negotiation down the line? It is possible. Could it help keep other Clutch Sports clients happy and willing to work with Dallas? Absolutely. This is the kind of behind-the-scenes stuff that does not make headlines, but it absolutely matters when you are trying to build a contender. And let us talk about the message this sends to the locker room, because that part is huge. Players notice when the front office takes care of their teammates. They notice when the team does not drag negotiations out and make guys feel undervalued. By getting Javonte locked up early and paying him fairly, the Cowboys showed the rest of the roster that this organization is willing to do business the right way. That builds trust, that builds chemistry, that makes free agents look at Dallas and think, okay, this is a place where I can get paid and get treated right. For a franchise that has had some rocky negotiations in recent years, this is a step in the right direction. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is $8 million per year really that great of a deal? Could they have gotten him cheaper if they waited? Here is my take. The running back market is weird right now. You have guys like Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry getting paid big money on the open market. You have younger backs like Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker about to hit negotiations. If the Cowboys had waited until free agency opened, there is a real chance another team swoops in with a bigger offer, and suddenly you are scrambling to find a replacement. By getting this done early, you lock in your guy at a number that is completely reasonable for what he produced last season. Is it a steal? No, probably not. But it is not an overpay either. It is right in line with what the market projections had been all along, and you got it done without any drama, without any distractions, and without any risk of losing him. That is a win in my book. And honestly, it is just refreshing to see the Cowboys operate like this. How many times have we watched this team wait until the last possible second to make a move? How many times have we seen negotiations drag out and create unnecessary tension? This time they got ahead of it. They identified a player they wanted to keep, and they made it happen before anyone else could interfere. If this is a sign of how the front office plans to operate going forward, then I am here for it. Give me more of this energy. Give me a Cowboys team that is proactive instead of reactive. Give me a front office that takes care of business early so they can focus on the bigger picture. Now let us talk about what comes next, because this is just the beginning. The NFL Combine is right around the corner, and the Cowboys have plenty of cap space to work with, despite what the haters and the doubters might try to tell you. They have room to make moves. The question is, what moves are they going to prioritize? Wide receiver is obviously a huge need, especially with the George Pickens situation hanging out there. The defense could use some help in certain areas. There are always depth pieces to address. But because the running back position is now locked down, the Cowboys have more flexibility to attack those other needs aggressively. Would you rather go into free agency with a list of 5 or 6 positions you absolutely have to address? Or would you rather have that list narrowed down to 3 or 4? This Javonte deal shortens the list. It gives the front office more focus. And in a league where every move matters, that focus could be the difference between a good offseason and a great one. So what is my final verdict on this extension? I think it is a smart move. I think it is exactly what the Cowboys needed to do at exactly the right time. You locked up a young, productive running back on a reasonable contract with built-in flexibility. You set the market for other backs, which might actually help your negotiating position in other areas. You sent a positive message to your locker room and to the rest of the league. You built goodwill with an agency that represents other key players, and you freed yourself up to focus on the bigger priorities this offseason. That is a lot of value from one contract extension. Is it the flashiest move? No. Is it going to get people jumping out of their seats with excitement? Probably not. But it is the kind of smart behind the scenes work that separates good organizations from great ones. And right now, I am feeling pretty good about where the Dallas Cowboys are headed. Alright, Cowboys Nation, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think about this Javonte Williams extension. Is this an A-grade deal? Is it a B? Are you concerned about anything? Let me know your honest thoughts because I read every single comment and I want to know where the fan base stands on this one. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to Cowboys Live News because we are going to be covering every single move this offseason the moment it happens. The Combine is coming up and there's going to be a flood of news rumors and updates, so you want to be locked in. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. How about them Cowboys?